Sam, congratulations on the win. I've got to start with how close you must have been to getting on in the act with the try. Seemed to do a lot of good work to me for try number 3, which didn't quite happen.
Yeah, I think it was probably a fair call in the end. I just felt a bit guilty for letting down launches. He put so much pressure on him. So probably just a bit of over-eagerness there. Probably gave him a bit of an easier out than we'd have liked. But yeah, I'm sure it will happen one day.
Just in terms of the platform that you, the pack, England set throughout this game, just talk me about the work that's gone into it and the real obvious success that seemed to be on the field today.
I think for us it was about, we kind of knew the challenge that was ahead of us. He obviously picked a pretty big pack, pretty big centre partnership. I think we probably knew they were going to come out and it was going to be a physical contest. And if we were going to have a chance of winning, we needed to match and better that if we could. I think by and large, we did that pretty well. I think our defensive sets were brilliant. I think across the board, the performances the lads in the pack, especially, were about as good as we could expect and ask for, especially defensively. We probably didn't have the ball for as much as we'd have liked. We probably didn't have as many attacking opportunities as we'd have liked, but sometimes that's what you got to deal with, and I think the boys dealt with it brilliantly.
150 odd minutes of rugby in tests in this tournament without shipping a point, 220 odd tackles today. How much of it comes from hard work, clearly, and how much just from the togetherness of this group that seems very apparent as well?
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, I think the basics of a good defensive side, I think it's all down to work rate, and I think that's made easier by how much you want to work for one another. So I think as a team, that sort of togetherness, that willingness to work for your mates, the guy either side of you, that's ultimately what makes it easier to do and sort of drives that from a defensive perspective, for sure.
And in terms of England really wanting to dominate tough teams like Ireland up front as well, the more that you guys work with Matt Proudfoot in conjunction with the likes of Eddie, how is that toughening up that kind of real key part of England rugby?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty key cornerstone of the game we want to play. Like this, the forwards, the set piece in particular. You scrum and line out. If your scrum and line out aren't going well, you're going to have a tough day. So I think on the flip side of that, if your scrum's going well and your line out and your maul's going well, you're probably going to have a good day. So that's an area of the game that we sort of, I think it's fair to say, we pride ourselves on, and we want to continue to work and get better because you know that every week you're going to have a team that's going to want to take that away from you. So we need to keep getting better.
And just finally from me, when you do that, you can free up the likes of Johnny May to do his thing. And his thing was a thing of beauty today, wasn't it? What do you make of that and your take on Johnny week in, week out and his dedication to his craft?
He's a phenomenal athlete. He's he's an incredibly professional man. He goes about his work really well. I don't think I've seen anyone take their sort of physical condition so seriously, and the work he does training wise, recovery wise, is impressive. And he obviously demonstrates that on days like today. He does that in training probably 3 or 4 times a week. So it's nice to see him able to do it on the field. I think Elliot Daly probably feel aggrieved that he didn't just pass the ball instead, but probably a better try for it.
Thank you.
James, we'll come to you, please.
Sam, just on the back row, Eddie was asked a few questions in the week why Jack Willis wasn't included, but you guys showed today just how good this back row is. Do you feel like you're developing as a unit as much as individuals?
I think so. I think anything that we see on the pitch on the weekend is a result of the work that's gone into it in the week. So I think that's true. That's as true. Sorry, of the back row as it is of the team in general. So if we play well, it's probably because we've had a good training week and a good prep, and that's ultimately down to the lads that aren't on the field. And that's the same in the back row. I think whoever makes it into the match day 23, and whoever plays on the weekend, they're put in good stead by the hard work of all the other lads around them, especially in the back row. I think we've got a really good group, really good variety in ability, and a really good sort of mutual respect and competition for one another.
And just in terms of the Autumn Nations Cup campaign. Where does this leave you, and how confident are you now of lifting the trophy with the way you've gone so far?
I think it obviously puts us in a pretty good place. I think for us, we know that the only way that we're going to get something out of this, or the only way we're going to perform well, is if we focus on what's immediately in front of us. So obviously we'll enjoy the win and sort of reflect on it and learn from it, and then our immediate focus is onto Wales next week. So I think that's the way we put ourselves in a good place, is to give them the respect that they deserve as a team, and yeah, it's to put as much into the week as we can.
Yeah, you played in Wales for a bit. What are you expecting next week?
Probably going to be a bit different without the crowds, but it's always a tough place to go. It's always a tough game. England Wales is always a tough game, isn't it? It's never. There's always a sort of an added edge and competitiveness in that. So I think for us it's one to look forward to, and one to sort of embrace that challenge. So yeah, like I said, I'm sure it'll be a bit different without the crowd there that there normally is, but it's one that it's a game we're looking forward to.